Hey, it's Marko here from sunny Victoria, BC. Today I'm talking about the huge real estate news out of the US. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, over 1 million members in the US, has settled with the Department of Justice, I believe. I don't know if that's the equivalent of our Competition Bureau or not. I should have probably Googled that before this video. But they settled for $418 million. The bigger news is they were forced into a major restructuring of real estate commissions and how that is dealt with. So the primary issue at hand is the cooperating commission offered to the buyer's agent, typically paid by the seller. This is no longer going to be allowed in terms of advertising in the MLS system. The premise being there is over the years, the seller having offered the buyer's agent a commission plus having to pay the listing portion. This has inflated commissions. And why wouldn't the buyer pay the buyer's agent directly? Because that agent is representing his or her fees. Why is the seller having to pay that? And the concept is this decoupling of the real estate commission is going to lead to a huge drop in real estate commissions and lower transaction costs for the consumer. So a lot of experts in the US and analysts are predicting real estate commissions could drop between 10 to 50%. A lot of people in Canada are reading this online and saying, yeah, we need this in Canada. Right away, our real estate commissions are crazy. The one thing people are conveniently ignoring, well, a lot of things, but one of them is real estate commissions in the US are typically around 6%. So if we take the upper range of expert recommendations, 50% drop, that would go from a 6% commission to a 3% commission. Well, in a marketplace like Victoria, BC, real estate commissions are not set. They're 100% negotiable, but they hover plus or minus somewhere around 3%. So the worst case or the best case scenario, depending on which side you're on, if commissions in the US dropped 50%, they would just be coming in line with what we already see here in our local marketplace. A lot of people seem to think these types of judgments in Canada, and with the popularity of AI and everything going online, that the real estate industry might go extinct or that the real estate fees are going to severely drop. I've been through this before, and I think people, they're not looking at reality. We've been through this before. So I was licensed in 2010. 2 months after I got my license, the Canadian Competition Bureau came out with a judgment against the Canadian Real Estate Association, forcing the Canadian Real Estate Association to allow its members to offer mere postings with a cooperating broker fee minimum set at $1. So 2 months into this, into my career, I said, wow, this is awesome. Right away on my website, I set up a package offering these mere postings for sale by owner on MLS, amongst many other avenues in terms of full service structures. If you were a buyer or if you are a buyer, you can get deals on the buying end through cash back through a buyer. Basically, my point is commissions have been 100% negotiable for my entire 14-year career. Other than those 2 months, first 2 months of my career, the entire 14 years, people have been able to go online, do a bit of Google research, and put their home on MLS for a flat fee, offering a $1 cooperating broker commission. In fact, if you go to my website, markojuras.com, you go to seller, mere posting flat fee listing, you'll see I still offer the package today. $1,200, includes professional photos. You go on MLS. So these judgments would change nothing because everything's available to the consumer. The consumer is simply not exercising these options. Because at the end of the day, consumers complain about real estate fees. The general perception of the real estate industry is not a positive one in the public. But the consumer still pays for the expertise. They're still not comfortable enough doing it themselves. Over the years, for example, I've done hundreds of mere postings in Victoria. And those sellers that have been successful with the price and $10,000, $20,000 they've saved using my package, they'll phone me 10 years down the road and say, hey, Marko, you sold my house in Fairfield in 2011 using a mere posting. We now have a house in Oak Bay. We want to sell it. But you know what? We want to use you for full service, because at the end of the day, there are expertise competent real estate agents bring to the table. There's also the time factor. Selling the house on your own is not as simple as it sounds. Buying a house on your own without a buyer's agent is also not as simple as it sounds. So I don't think there's going to be a long-term shift in real estate fees. And I don't think there's going to be a huge downward pressure in real estate fees. You know, a lot of people say, well, just put your house on MLS, or just go look at listings on your own and get a lawyer to review the contract. Do you think a lawyer is going to be reviewing your contract at Saturday at 5 p.m. when the seller says, hey, we have multiple offers, we're going to sit down Saturday at 6 p.m. to review them? Where are you going to find a lawyer? You think a lawyer is going to be driving out, I don't know, to Metchosin on a Sunday afternoon because you decided that Sunday morning you wanted to see the same house a second time before you wrote an offer? People oversimplify how complex real estate and real estate transactions are. There actually is expertise required. And despite the negative perception of realtors, I think in the future, the consumer is going to continue to seek those services from the real estate industry. And I honestly don't think that real estate fees are going to see a ton of downward pressure. And if you're upset about real estate fees, go to my website and sign up for a mere posting. Put your house on MLS with a cooperating broker fee of $1, and there, you're saving $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, but it's not that simple. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras from Fair Realty.